I really appreciate you all for watching. Thank you. Alright, we got 124 days of non-stop barbecue marathon going on, and we are cooking on the disaster stove, the folding FireBox. This is our bucket kit. And tonight we're going to have for our dinner none of this food, actually. We're going to have some mushrooms and some canned corn. We got some fresh carrots and corn on the cob, but we're going to combine that mushrooms with, we're going to need some water, a tool, and that's it. This is another emergency kit with a little bit of food and matches and hand warmers and stuff like that. We'll use that. And this is its own little mini kit all by itself. Has a little mini first aid kit with a lighter. You can use the spark from the lighter to get cotton going too. A bit of aluminum foil. What I'm looking for, some whole grain brown rice mix, creamy cheddar and broccoli. We're going to mix the carrots and the other stuff up with that. Some ramen in here. What I'm looking for is the stove, some newspaper to light it with, and my cooking pots, cooking and eating pots, and my spork. And for the FireBox stove, we're not going to need an awful lot of this paper. Should be more than enough to get it going. And these here twigs, I spent like 3 minutes collecting all these off the forest floor. Alright, I'm just going to put my stove together real quick like. And I'm just going to flip this, I'll just do it right, I guess. There we go. I'll just put this a little bit closer. Okay, how does that look? Not quite dry there. Should have lit the paper from the bottom. Oh, you could probably burn grass and cook with this. Alright, also in my kit I have 2 plates on top. It's because I didn't like to keep getting everything else out to get. I have some napkins, I have some spices, salt and pepper, and I have 4 coffee singles and 2 coffee cups. They are a 1 cup measurement each, so I'm going to use one of the cups to measure my water. And the rest of this I'm not going to use. Actually, I'm going to use the big one. Yes, I am. Okay. I'm going to use it all except the cups and this stuff. First, just to get it out of the way, 1 1/3 cup of water. Now this is just a water bottle I got at a trade show, home and garden show. Free. From the American Family Insurance Company. Since they were kind enough to give it away free, I'll mention that. And then I went and I measured 2 cups and drew some dotted lines with a Sharpie on it. So I know I have at least 2 cups of water in here before I started. One cup. Nope, spilled a little bit. A third and a little bit more for the spill. Alright, we've got some coals going on down there. Let's get the bacon cooking. Bacon? I don't have bacon. I got bacon on the brain. I do have a bit of bacon grease. Yep. Make sure your handle's set right before you start cooking. Just another minute longer and I wouldn't have been able to touch that. There we go. Before the fire goes out. Stoke it up with a few twigs. Now I want to saute my carrots up before I cook them, before I cook everything else, so that's what I'm doing. Wow, it's gotten really hot. Trying to get our carrots done yesterday or something. Okay, just used a can opener for this can. I'm just going to dump the carrots are good and scorched. Fires have died down, still burning. Just going to dump the whole can of corn in here and let the water boil off. And that's when I'm gonna say it's done. Carrots should cook up, corn should heat up, and corn is so starchy that you can boil it for like an hour or so. You know? Pretty intense stuff there. So we'll let it go for probably 5 minutes. Alrighty then. Salt and pepper, anyone? Alright, now I did want to try my multi-tool can opening ability. I've used other multi-tools can opener and okay. Alright, so what we're going to do here now is test out the can opener on the multi-tool. You all following me alright down there? I believe this is the blade. This is not the best multi-tool in the world that doesn't have locking blades and stuff like that. And I believe it was probably free. So it was the best price, but will it work in my survival kit? Is this an important tool or is this a waste of time? Well, that blade kind of locks. Yes, it does work. So this is definitely worth having in the kit. I put it in there for its pliers, but and I did sharpen up that tiny knife that's on it, so I do have a knife in my kit now, and some pliers, and a can opener, and a bottle opener, in case I find a bottle truck full of beer or something. In a survival situation, you may not want to dump that juice out. You may be surviving off of it, so that's fine. But for my flavor expectations, it's gotta go. Gotta go now. Well, fire died down. Boiling mad in 2.5 seconds. Alright, it's a keeper from Professional Tools, HB Smith Tools since 1942. Like I said, don't recall where we got it, probably from some sort of magazine or something. Maybe, I really doubt that was at a trade show, but you never know. Alright, so what do we got going on here with this instruction packet? Microwave method. 1 tablespoon of margarine. Okay, well, we don't have margarine, but we do have about a tablespoon of lard here. Put that in with the water. Alright, I got to thinking while this is cooking, I could be letting this rice simmer. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to the rice now. Get that water boiling. That'll probably take a whole minute. And then I'll dump that packet in there and we will have get our rice. You can really hurry this stove up. Just toss a few pieces of bark in there. And sounds like it might be bubbling even. It's almost there. So let's do the old switcheroo. It's not hot, but I'm having fun using my multi-tool. Switch back. Drop in a piece of wood. Switch back. Talk to myself. Oh, camera's still on. I did stir that up right after putting it in off camera. And there we go, we have it, it's done boiling. What I'm going to do is just, stop touching that lid top. Just gonna let it, we're going to alternate like this, because it needs to simmer, not boil. Not even 10 quick seconds. Then we'll wait a minute, let this boil for a while, and we'll put the heat back on that. It's going to retain a lot of its heat just being in the metal. The pavement isn't too cold. Alright, the second time I put it on, I only put it on for 5 seconds because I could hear it starting to simmer already. I'm going to point out that this is the amount of fuel I put in it every 2 minutes or so, 3 minutes. And that's all I do. This is some of the fuel left over from the rocket stove, and as you can see, it's too big to even fit in there. So you use a lot less wood and a lot smaller wood when you cook with this folding FireBox. That's for taking the lid off. I'm just got it going like this with a couple of twigs now and then. Got her down almost all the way. Rice is still cooking. I'm getting a lot of moisture out of here, so I think I'm going to go ahead and add the mushrooms. Just let them sit on top. They're already cooked, they just need to heat up. Extra one of these handy dandy can openers into my survival kit. It makes a lot nicer, more usable can. Do y'all have a survival kit? Would you buy one if I made one? Spam we cooked up previously. I just diced it up. And that'll be our meat for the dinner. Otherwise, it was a vegetarian meal up to this point. Worry, no cans of Spam were harmed in this video. Somebody invited me to that new group called PETA, People for Eating Tasty Animals. I'm for eating tasty animals, I'm not for eating untasty animals. As long as they're all treated humanely along the path of life, I believe in eating animals, as you obviously know. And who knows? Who's to say that that blade of grass is less alive and cognizant than a rabbit? Crows are making some peculiar noises. Looks like the flock's about 10 or 12 of them. Got quite the community going on here. This is definitely a full pan of food. Maybe I'll try my big cast iron skillet on this, I don't know. Should be interesting if nothing else. That made them all fly. They thought I was going like this. I thought that was some... Oh look, there's a whole bunch more of them. You know, in a survival situation, you could even reuse this bag as a pouch for water filling and gathering. Not really storage for very long. Alright, we're almost done here. Most of the water's gone out of that. That's almost rice. Alright, sun's gone down, it's getting late, we're still simmering this here. The rice is taking forever. Angie said it would take a long time, it's brown rice. The packet lied, it said 10 minutes. We're just going to let it go like that and hopefully not burn it. I don't think we have too much coals left going there. We're just going to add this to the top. Guess I should do it at a camera angle, you might actually be able to see the food. See how this turned out. You see that there? Those flavors really mingled well. Hint of bacon too. Interesting. And the Spam is good. Holy cow, it's getting dark. Alright, the rice is done. It never really turned into what I would consider a really good rice, but it's not hard, it's not crunchy. Just kind of small grained rice. Hi Diego, it's day 124 Nonstop Barbecue. We are cooking up on the rocket stove, or the folding FireBox stove today. We're doing what we would call a Northwest goulash type dish. We cooked up some carrots with some corn and mushrooms and Spam and mixed that in with some brown cheddar rice, all on the folding FireBox. It's pretty good, it's pretty tasty. And we got some fresh sliced tomatoes and a ear of corn on the cob.
Shucks, that's good.